talk is going to be about why you want to really focus on sitting up straight. Okay, so we're going to do this thing. At the end of this, you're all going to want to get a stand desk. That's what's going to happen. But I'm just letting you know that one of the best ways and easiest ways that you can affect your longevity is to sit up straight. So that's the cliff notes. The cliff notes of this whole thing is sitting and standing straight so your body's in alignment affects your mortality. And I'm going to show you why. Also, it's going to affect your energy. All last week, we were talking about energy and we mentioned sitting up straight, but this is going to drive it home for you. You're really going to understand why exactly we want to try and make sure that we are using our posture for our best health because sitting is the new smoking, right? Too much sitting leads to a lot of problems. I'm going to show you more about it as we go through this presentation. You guys know who I am. Family doctor, functional medicine doctor. I've done a few things. I was sick and had to get better. And that's how I found my way into progressive medicine. And that is utilizing biotech along with functional medicine principles to change things faster than you ordinarily would be able to change things with just natural medicine. So that's what I'm doing. And I want to talk to you about why posture is so important to move, to feel, to be well, to be your best self and maintain that throughout your entire lives, guys. And when we think about posture, what's interesting is that with regards to posture, that's the time to be old school, y'all, because when you think about posture and how it's changed over the years, how posture used to be a priority. Parents would tell their kids to stand up straight. Now, instead of saying stand up straight, you probably say, get off that phone, because we're all starting to go like this. We're looking at screens. And it used to be that this is one way that you judged people by how they were standing up, whether or not you had confidence in them. And we've also talked about how posture can give you confidence. Just standing up straight can make you feel more powerful. And that's where we really want to be, because it does make you more powerful. This decline over the past 50 years has happened pretty gradually as we started to use typewriters and then more and more screens. And what has happened now is we're seeing problems with the neck pain earlier, back pain earlier, difficulties with compression fractures in the spine, and it is directly related to our posture. So if you are finding yourself like this frequently at work, or if you're sitting unconsciously at work all day, I'm going to give you some really great understanding of why this is actually hurting you in a long time. Now look at this gentleman's posture. Do you see how his head is forward? Your head is the heaviest part of your whole body. And so what this does is this creates shortened neck muscles in the front and over tense neck muscles in the back because they're holding up the bowling ball, you guys. And this starts to create changes in your body mechanics and also changes in how you're feeling. So basically, what we see in the research is over and over, stand up to live longer. If you're sedentary people over 60 just die sooner. And I mean, it's important to understand that sitting really affects when you are going to die. Okay, reducing those idle behaviors like sitting, watching TV will increase your life expectancy. Okay, reducing sitting to less than 3 hours a day increased life expectancy by 2 years. And guys, what's important to understand is that's more quality as well. If you're moving it around, you're forcing your body to adapt. It's almost like it's like exercise, right? Standing tall is like exercise, and understanding doing less sitting will help you really to make a difference in your life. Look at this large meta-analysis showing increased overall mortality risk with prolonged sitting, heart disease mortality up, cancer mortality up, 6 to 12 hours a day sitting, increased risk of diabetes by 91%. So inactivity versus activity is so important that we're thinking about how can we just in little ways increase our activity, because this is going to make you feel a lot better. Not only that, it's lowering all these health risks. If you look at the difference between sedentary people who are spending a lot of time sitting and all-cause mortality who were more active, there's a huge difference in that you can, just by standing up for a few minutes on the hour, right? We're doing those book bookmarks during the day. You've got to put in some bookmarks. Maybe your bookmark is like my bookmark. It's a stand. It's a wiggle snack, exercise snack. It's some nice deep breaths, right? Maybe some isometrics, and then sit back down or get onto your stand up desk, your standing desk. Some people even are able to do their job efficiently with a walking treadmill, right? So just know that there's so many ways that you can increase your ability to feel well, feel good, live longer, and it's simple. It's simple as standing up, because when we think about the activity versus the inactivity, and the biomechanics, and then this vicious spiral that happens with the weak posture, we start to lose that core and these back muscles get tight and tense. Who has a little bit of back pain at times? Do you guys? If you do, this is for you, right? So let's start to talk about how we can make things better. And first, we're going to move into that activity versus inactivity, really what it means for you. We've talked about easy ways, but here's some of the data that's showing you that just a little bit of exercise can extend your life expectancy 4.5 years. All right. And so we're talking about not doing a whole bunch, right? So the guidelines are 30 minutes 5 times a week. If you do half of that, you're increasing your life expectancy. If you're doing 300, if you're doing that, 3 times that, you're getting 4.5 extra years of life, and you're probably feeling better too, you guys. So I'm trying to make this compelling argument to you, not even that you have to go to the gym, but let's just start off by getting that posture going. So the effect of weight and physical activity on life expectancy, if we're able to achieve a body weight that is good for our height and exercise, it makes it even better for you. And those of you who are living a stressful lifestyle, I'm talking to you right now. In order to release that weight, we need to lower the stress, right? You can do this, you guys. We need to lower the stress and focus on self-care, taking the breath, because that, as it lowers your cortisol, you're going to be able to release the weight, okay? And understand that if you do both of these things, and in moving more, weight will naturally be released. So stress reduction and more movement, healthy nutrition, and naturally you're going to gravitate towards a healthier body mass composition. Let's also think about the biomechanics of the flex structure versus aligned structure. Okay, you guys, here's some pictures. Ideal, we want the head on top of the torso. I think of it like, you remember those old toys, the Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down? Your head should be loose and just happy on top of your torso, which is on top of your pelvis. And that alignment, straight alignment, is so important. It makes me want to sit up straight right now. Now let's look at this less than ideal. Okay, head forward. I think I've talked about this quite a few times. Are you guys getting tired of it? Head forward, less than ideal. You're going to start to create that strain. And once again, just say no to this text neck. Just that is, look at his x-ray, and you see where all of this intense pressure is on the back and the spine. This will create back problems and back pain in the long run. All right. And when we talk about that vicious spiral of weakened posture, as you're spending time a little crouched, what happens is we are moving into a folded posture, and you start to feel old before you should feel old. Okay. I find I was noticing in pictures that I was looking older. I was hunched a little bit. And, when I was a kid, I did ballet, and that we stood up very straight when we were in ballet school. And I recognized that when I walked, I would immediately start to go to that old hunched over posture. I want you to look at how I look right now. And I look older than when I sit up straight. And that's because my physiology changes right in that moment, you guys. My physiology changes. This is an older woman, and this is a younger woman. And I want you to remember that in the moment, because as you start to change your posture, you're going to have to think about this frequently. I would say that when I first began to try and stand up straight again, because when I was young, I stood up straight. Within 5 seconds of saying to myself, stand up straight, and engaging that low back, as soon as I would forget about it, my posture would start to go forward. Okay, so you're going to have to be doing a little bit of reminding. I'm looking into posture devices that will remind you. They're necklaces that you wear that will give you a little vibration when you start to get that forward posture. I'm going to share that with you guys as soon as I have them. But know that you're going to be needing to do some frequent reminders internally to help this start to correct itself. Because what we really want is to begin to create this beautiful alignment where you don't even have to think about it anymore. Okay. Your biomechanics are going to affect pain all over your body, head to toe, knees, ankles, hips, back. Everything will feel better when we get you balanced and alignment and moving well the way your body wants to move, you guys. So, I, this is a first point I want to say is that a picture is really worth 1,000 words. And if you haven't had a picture of you just standing normally, so you can look and see, is my head over top of my pelvis? Am I in alignment? Because you want your head to be balancing on your torso, to be balancing on your pelvis, balancing on your feet, right? For a really good balanced posture. And so you see here this picture, this person standing up straight. Big difference from this posture that you see in this other slide right here. So now, the next thing that we want to think about is that idea of balance is the first, alignment, and then move. And I'm going to give you your first like posture training, and that is with balance. To begin by practicing while you're brushing your teeth, standing on one foot. Okay, guys, for some of you, this is going to be hard, but that's okay. It was totally hard for me. In fact, I had a gimpy side, a whole side of my body that was not working, right? If I look at old pictures of myself, I had one side of my face not as active. It's much more active now than it used to be. It almost looked like I had a mini stroke. And one side of my body, you just not as responsive. So we want to look and see that we're balanced, and practicing standing on one foot while you're brushing your teeth is a great challenge. And so this is your homework actually today, is to begin by balancing on one foot when you're standing. I want you guys to know that I'm about to be launching a posture course and a posture class. And when I launch it, you will have access to that posture class. All right. So, not to worry if you're like, how in the world will I ever do this? I'm going to help you out. Okay. As soon as the posture class comes out, you guys have access to it. So, balance, alignment, and movement, those are the three keys to really getting our body functioning well. And when our skeleton, our musculoskeletal system is working, that actually is going to make your internal organs work better too. All right, this is just showing how you can look at a picture to identify if you are straight or not. And you'll want to have a family member take your picture. So that's your other homework, to balance on your foot when you're on one foot while you're brushing your teeth, and to get a picture of your posture so you can know what's going on here. Your shoulders should center over your feet, you guys. Your head should center over your shoulders. And then finally, your lower torso also and your pelvis should be creating symmetry. Sometimes if you have leg length differences, this can look a little off, like your pelvis, one side might be a little higher than another. At times that can be corrected with simple exercises. Sometimes it can be corrected with chiropractic. Sometimes you need a little shoe lift to get the torso even. And that's been one of my challenges, is that my pelvis, one leg is a little longer than the other. And so now let's just talk a little bit more about the difference between how you can, in a short period of time, change your mortality. All right, let's totally change our mortality. Compared with older adults who are consistently sedentary during a 2-year study, the ones who were active showed reduced to all-cause mortality, okay? And then people who started sitting less experienced an immediate reduction in mortality. You guys, this is important, because sitting affects when you will die. Okay, it's just this is clear as that. Sitting affects when you will die. Okay, so we're gonna stand up straight, right? And it's more than just inactivity because there's something beyond that. It actually is part of your cardiovascular conditioning. Staying folded makes it so that you have a harder time getting a good breath in, harder time being in that state of rest and digest, right? And let's think about it, right? When he is crunched over like this, the core, which is his torso and pelvis, sits in a folding position. And when you're folded over, several things happen. It makes it so this segment, this part of your low back, which is supposed to move as you are breathing, just stops moving correctly, and your tummy contents get compressed, so you cannot take as big a breath. All right, and the understanding that this affects not just your musculoskeletal system, not just your bones and muscles, but your breathing, your digestion, your cortisol levels, your attitude, body, mind, body, soul, baby. This affects everything. Okay, and if we here's one another sitting more leads to disability and dying. Time spent sitting independently associated with total mortality regardless of physical activity level. Okay, so honestly, if we should be hearing more stuff coming from the government about, you guys start to stand up. And this is one of the reasons that I got a stand up desk. I got a walking treadmill that slid underneath my desk so that I could walk while doing my work. It goes really, really slow, right? So it's not like I'm having to think about it, but it makes it so I'm actually moving. And the days that I use my walking treadmill, I sleep better 100% of the time. It's almost like it's magic. And I'll look at it and I'll go like, "Dang, how did I get such a great sleep score?" And I'm like, "Ah, I walked much of my day." So understand that if you don't want to be disabled, we need to walk more. We need to stand up straight. Reduced sitting time also is associated with telomere lengthening. Telomeres are a part of your chromosomes that determine how old your genes and your cells can get. Okay, it determines how many times a cell can replicate, and the shorter those telomeres, the closer you are to death, basically. Okay, the older you are, your bio age is older. And looking at people who were 68 years old and overweight in a 6-month physical activity intervention trial, they saw that if people just got up off their duff, they got longer telomeres. Drop the mic. That's big. Can you say longer telomeres? Say it. Longer telomeres. That's what we want. We want longer telomeres. Can you say sitting is the new smoking? I did not hear you. Please say that a little louder. Can you tell your family about that too? All right, because the one way that you are going to be able to benefit from what I'm teaching you is if you go teach other people. Hear me now and go tell the world to get off their duff. All right, you guys. I think every office, what we should have is on the hour. We should have self-care snacks. Let's make the bread is going to be the breaths. In there we've got the exercise as the meat of the little, it's the slider. It's like your self-care slider snack, right? So let's talk about the breath test. All right, right now I want you to think about taking a deep breath. All right, and wherever you are, take a deep breath. See how much goes in. And now what I want you to do is really focus on the posture. Okay. Chest is open, shoulders up, back and down, head level, and then back a little bit. All right. Now we're going to do a belly breath with strong posture. And you get in so much more air with this breath test. Okay. So this is how you can recognize one of the huge benefits is your ability to take in a bigger breath of air when you are standing up straight. So that's one of the great ways that this can help you. And let's just continue to recognize that this balance, alignment, motion, these are essential things for your excellent health, you guys. And I hope that this has been helpful. I know this has been a little bit on the long side, but you have homework for today is just to take a picture of your posture, and then let's start to work on our balance as the first thing. When I have that posture class available to you, you guys will get access to it. And I hope that you have an awesome, awesome day. All right. See you guys tomorrow.